You know, if someone wanted Robert Rodriguez put in a mental institution, all they would have to do is show them this film.
This is my review of Machete Kills.
Trying to describe the plot of Machete Kills is like trying to describe those scribble-scrabble drawings you did with crayon in kindergarten, but I'm going to do my best. It centers on ex-Federale agent Machete, played by Danny Trejo once again, who's sent into Mexico by the President of the United States, Charlie Sheen, yeah, I know, to stop an arms dealer who's about to launch a nuclear weapon into the United States that was built by Mel Gibson's Vaz. That is an action movie storyline for you. I have to say though, even with all of that craziness going on, this movie's still a bit of a letdown. The joke just feels played out. We get it, Robert Rodriguez. You can make a bad movie on purpose. That's fine, that's great that you can use cheap special effects and gratuitous kills and Danny Trejo saying one-liners. We got it. It's fun in the first movie, but in this one he really offers very little different or new besides some really inventive kills, but even those are marred by really cheap-looking special effects. And I get that that's kind of the charm, but if you're gonna do cheap special effects, at least go for some practical effects so you can not spend a lot of money and at least have it look real. This movie has just a ton of CG blood that just look bad, and it kind of mars a lot of the violence that would be really awesome in some cases, especially when you get into the second half where it really gets crazy. The casting in this movie really does spread a wide net of great to awful. You've got people who are really committing to the joke, like Danny Trejo, Demian Bashir, Charlie Sheen, and a surprisingly fun villainous turn by Mel Gibson, who really commits to the hamminess of the film. But then you've got people who are just awful, like Sofia Vergara, who's the worst part of the worst TV show on television, Modern Family, who just yells and screams a whole bunch. Vanessa Hudgens, who just looks confused, and Lady Gaga, who I think just stumbled onto the wrong set. That's all I can really imagine happened here. And then you've got people who just don't seem to care, like Michelle Rodriguez, who just seems like she's here because she was in the first one and just needs a paycheck. Fortunately, what saves this movie is the second half. Now, for those of you who don't know, the third movie, allegedly, in this series is going to be Machete Kills Again, ... in space. Why they didn't just make that movie, I have no idea, but they spent a good portion of this movie setting up Machete Kills in space, and that part of the movie is wildly entertaining. They go absolutely bonkers, it feels new, they introduce all this crazy stuff, and after a while, at that point, your brain is just so numb to any sort of actual entertainment that you'll take anything newfangled at this point, and they do some stuff that's just so silly that you have to kind of sit back and enjoy it. Overall, Machete Kills really is kind of boring. Sure, it's silly and crazy and wild and all that stuff, but after a while, you just don't care. You feel like you paid for something that's just sort of cheap and half-assed, and there's not a whole lot of inventiveness in this film until the second half. But waiting for that really fun Looney Tunes second half to come is an absolute slog. I really wouldn't recommend this movie unless you're watching it on DVD, so I'd give it 2 stars out of 4. Check it out if you're a fan of Rodriguez, but I'd say for the theater, wait until Machete Kills in space, if that even is going to happen now, because this movie bombed. And that's my review of Machete Kills. I hope you enjoyed it. If you did, please subscribe to my channel, and until next time, I'm Michael Fairbanks. See you later.